From November 2022 to October 2023, I did 21 ayahuasca ceremonies. First with a Peruvian shaman, then a Colombian shaman, and a Colombian shaman, and a Colombian shaman, a Colombian shaman, and finally solo in Scotland. Here are the 5 best lessons that I learned through that whole journey. Number 1, ayahuasca, or el yahe, as they call it here in Colombia, taught me how to be my best and bravest self. I think deep down we all wonder who we are if we're standing in front of the burning building and we feel the heat on our skin. You know, we can feel the hairs singeing on our arms and we hear the cries of screaming children that are still in the building. We want to know, who are you in that situation? Am I the person that runs on to save the kids, risking life and limb, or am I the person that shites himself and runs away? And none of us actually know until we're put into that situation. Especially not in the modern world, because there are no rites of passage. That is what the rites of passage used to do for people. They would put you in a situation where you're literally facing life or death. You overcome it and you become a new person. And so ayahuasca was the rite of passage for me. And what I learned is that, of course, when the challenge is presented to you, you always rise to the challenge. And that's why the people that do ayahuasca, and I'm not speaking about myself here, I'm speaking about my observations of other people who have done ayahuasca, seem to have this strength of character, ability to sit, beam a smile at you and stare at you directly in your face that most people in the UK don't have, and I certainly still fucking don't. And just this glow and energy and presence that comes from like some sort of imperceptible maturity that you can immediately sense when you're around these kind of people. And when I first met them, I was like, I fucking want that. Number 2, ayahuasca gave me an incredible feeling of connection to and an appreciation of nature for the first time. As you can see here, I have moved out to the mountains of Colombia to be more immersed in nature, but I come from one of the least biodiverse countries in the world, the UK, Scotland. So I didn't grow up having this kind of connection to nature. And then you come to Colombia and you go to the jungle. I wasn't in the jungle, I was in the forest. And you do ayahuasca and it just connects you so much to the natural world, because they say that, you know, Pachamama, Mother Nature, is the spirit that you connect with on ayahuasca. And ever since doing ayahuasca, I've had moments where, you know, I'm walking through the park in Scotland and I'm brought to tears by just sitting and watching, you know, the birds on the tree, or like looking at a little squirrel chase around for a nut. And it would just be so beautiful, wondrous and bewildering that nature exists all around us, and there's this life that's just happening 24/7 that I was never paying attention to. And so ayahuasca has given me the gift of this connection to nature. Ayahuasca taught me the meaning of difficulty. Before I'd done ayahuasca, I was fairly middle class Scottish person. Didn't have to go through war, famine, torture, rape, anything like that. I haven't experienced anything that's really that traumatic other than like my dogs dying. And so I guess I didn't understand one half of the human experience, which is abject suffering a lot of the time, especially if you're in Gaza or you're in Yemen. And so ayahuasca, for me and for many people, but definitely for me, put me into just situations that were so incredibly difficult that it gave me a full education and an understanding of the totality of the human experience. And so ayahuasca put me into situations in my mind, spiritually, emotionally, physically, where you are pushed to the absolute brink of what you are capable of. It feels like it's life or death, and people sometimes do die in ayahuasca ceremonies. The terror, you know, the fear, the shame, the guilt, all of the negativity in the universe seems to pour into you, and it's not a fucking fun or pleasant thing to manage. But by going through that experience, getting to the other side of it, I feel like I now understand more of what it means to be a human being. And I feel like it's given me a lot of strength. Number 4, ayahuasca taught me what it means to love. And now this is quite a vague one that I can't really, you know, use my words to give to you. But, you know, before I did ayahuasca, I was never able to say to my friends, oh, I love you, or say to my mum or my dad. And even though the ayahuasca is a lot of the time absolutely hellish, or it was for me, the other side of the coin is that it just teaches you what gratitude. You feel more gratitude than you've ever felt in your life. You feel more love than you've ever felt in your life. Before in my life, I used to see people through the veil of comparison. I would look at them and I would think, oh, they're better looking than me, or they're funnier than me, or they've got more money than me, or whatever. And when you're looking at them through this kind of anxious layer, you can never appreciate them. You can never actually fully connect with them. And now that's completely gone, thanks to ayahuasca. And I'm able to, you know, just connect with people all over. Number 5, ayahuasca taught me how to be fearless in my life. Because when you do ayahuasca and when you have a difficult experience, there is not a single atom in your fucking body that wants to drink again. And yet, you still have to drink another 2 times in the retreat sometimes. So that mechanism of knowing with absolute certainty that you're never going to drink again in your life, and then 3 hours later getting called up and having to go up and tip another cup of ayahuasca down your throat, that mechanism of feeling the fear and doing it anyway is incredibly powerful. And so having, something in my life that is so scary that gives me the chance to practice that muscle of just jumping off the cliff again and again and again, despite how scared I am, has influenced every other facet of my life. And I've been presented with situations and opportunities that before would have absolutely terrified me. But I think, well, it can't be as hard as that. So I'll give it a bash. So anyways, that's just a brief snapshot of a few of the things I've learned through ayahuasca. I'll maybe go more in depth into my experiences in other videos. But if you've got any questions, smash the like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. And let me know what's happening. See ya.